Welcome, rock fans from wherever you are in the world, to another episode of MPJ New Rock Album Review Show. I'm Nige, and welcome to Pete, to Simon, to Laurent, and of course to young William.
Hello.
Hello. Well, look, I mean, we've been telling everybody, but first of all, let's kick off. Congratulations, Simon, on becoming a dad. And welcome back to the show. A major year, well done on that score. So, congratulations to Lauren on becoming a puppy aficionado on that score. So, and of course, we're international now, of course, with Pete. We're international all the way from Holland, but there we go. So, the new Dutch guys. Okay. So, if you're tuned into the show, we review the latest rock albums, rate them out of 5, see if they get into a Hall of Fame, or even a Golden Halls within the Hall of Fame, or maybe even become a top 15 album and become one of our legends. But ultimately, our top 20 albums of the year will go forward to our Album of the Year show. Today, we are starting with Vamp. And their new album, Magnolia Park. So this was submitted by Lauren. She demanded, nay, howled it from the rooftops, we must review this album. So obviously, we will start with Pete. Because we don't do anything by the numbers, do we? Pete, what do you think had you heard of this band, and what did you think of them?
So never heard of them before. Gotta say, you shouldn't judge a book by its cover, but to some extent, I suppose we all do that, which is silly, because I just looked at the artwork and I just looked at the band name and thought to myself, this is gonna suck. And then I started listening to it, and it's amazing. So, Lauren, thank you very much for introducing me to this band. They're brilliant. They got some really, really catchy riffs. They got a heavy, dark, and gritty sound. The vocalist sounds raw. They got good breakdowns, good chugs, good just slamming that metal down your throat. Loved it. Good cleans as well, good grunts, both. Did feel like first half of the album was better than the second half. Down towards the end, I don't know what they were running low on, but one of the later tracks in the album is called Crave. And when I was listening to that chorus, my mind was just going, crawling in my skin. It just sounded straight up like Linkin Park. So yeah, that's a little bit of negativity there. All in all, thoroughly enjoyed this album. Brilliant band. Same as last time, like out of all the albums we listened to, there was only one that I actually recommended to friends, and it was this one. So, good job, guys. Lauren is happy.
Good job.
Thanks, Lauren. I love you, band.
Look at that. Lauren, then, over to you. Vamp, why, you'd obviously previously heard of this band, but tell us your story, and what did you think of this album?
Yeah, so I am, even though I am almost 30, I am still part of that TikTok generation. And it was just one of those bands that kept coming up on my TikTok, particularly the song Shallow. I love a bit of smut metal. Who doesn't? It's gorgeous, and it's just well produced. And so that made me sort of like do a bit of a deep dive into listening to them more and stuff. And picked up little bits in here like Oblivion Eyes, some of their older tracks, and I was like, oh, actually, this has all got a really good bit of flavour. And then lo and behold, followed them, and it popped up, oh, we're releasing Vamp. And I was so excited. I was thoroughly like, yes, thank heavens. I'm immediately putting this in for recommendation because I just love what they do. For the album itself, I thought it was fresh, it was emotive. Like Pete was saying, with the way it's sung and like the way it's produced, it is comfortably secured a place in my taste of what I enjoy, and it's just there. I just keep going back and back to it. It's got some great storytelling. The only thing I would say is I totally agree. Second half of the album is just a little bit more like, okay, enjoyable, but it feels like it's just running out of a little bit of steam. So when it then came to re-listening to everything, I found myself cherry picking rather than just going, I'm going to binge that whole album back to back and do that. But overall, I think they've done brilliantly. I couldn't be more pleased for them. It's fresh, emotive, and hungry for more. Can't wait to see what else they do.
Wow. Well, talking of hungry for more, we've missed him, but he's back. Simon, what do you think? Vamp? Magnolia Park? Not to insult you, I just feel like,
I know, right?
Well, ease you back in gently into the podcast.
No, I appreciate it.
I know.
So yeah, I mean, everyone else has already drawn this, and yeah, right off the bat, reminiscent sounds like I'm underselling it, but reminiscent of old school Linkin Park. It's almost a carbon copy in places, like Pete said, with the track Crave. It's that same sort of like emo grungy vibe with those like elements of rap and screamo and stuff intermixed, and they do have a little bit that differentiates them from Linkin Park. And I did love the bending of styles and the sounds that they've brought here. There's clearly a lot of talent, and the band deserves to be heard more. I think it was Reasons was my favourite track of the album. And I didn't let it affect my score, but the name of the band does make it sound like they're a Linkin Park cover band, or like a band in a movie, so you totally don't trigger copyright. It's that kind of, oh, we've got Linkin Park at home, Magnolia Park. And unfortunately, like, people are always going to immediately draw that comparison with that name. You just can't avoid that. Magnolia Park is just too close to Linkin Park. Their sound is so close. Whether or not they're just paying homage, I don't know. That's totally up to them. But I don't know. They're always going to get immediately directly compared to them, and that's probably not a great thing to have. If they want to stand out and do their own thing. So yeah, I mean, like, their first album's out though. It's fantastic. It is a great album. I mean, they also could change their name at this stage. Look at Electric Callboy. It's doable. So, but yeah, I mean, it's up to them. But yeah, it is. But the actual music, the actual album, really good. Really good album.
William!
Me!
This is your cup of bloody tea, isn't it? Let's be. I don't think we're going to get any shots here, are we? But
how dare you make such base assumptions about me and my taste of music, Nigel? You have no idea what I like.
I know you. It's like I've been doing the podcast for the last 3 goddamn years.
Yeah, sorry about that. So let's get the first bit out of the way. By virtue of Linkin Park being what they are, being one of the biggest bands ever, they had so many different sounds and styles. It's inevitable things are going to sound like it. Just going to casually show off my limited edition version of the From Zero Deluxe. But yeah, this is a really cool album. I've been listening to Magnolia Park since they released their the Halloween Mixtape 2 back in 2023, which I was like, oh, this is a really cool little EP. This is awesome. What they do more of. And I didn't like this as much as I liked that initial EP. I thought that had a more sort of unique sound to it. But this is a really cool album. There's songs like Worship, really cool, really big, punchy. Guitar and vocals in it. Shallow, yeah, very cool. It's a really solid album. But I have to think that stops it from being really, really up there for me is what my illustrious colleagues have also said, is that second half does kind of let it down a bit. Just goes from some really solid bangers in the first half, and then it feels like all the weaker tracks are put at the end. So it's just like really cool, all right, really cool, all right, really cool, all right, as it gets further down. That's a really solid album. A very good time listening.
Yeah, Trish. Just some cliff notes from Trish because she's in Novage in the fjords. Well, she's not actually in the fjords. We'll go into that. She absolutely loved this album, and I like a bit of cliche. And she says, if this album was a Vamp ire, it could bite me anytime. There we go. Love a good one of those. So she absolutely loved it, and Worship she absolutely loved as well. For me, this was not an album that was bang 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 really good, and then bang 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 really shit. It was shit, brilliant, shit, brilliant, shit, brilliant, shit, brilliant. That's the album in a nutshell for me. Really a game of two halves. Shallow was like the lifesaver of the album, but some of it was just unlistenable. I mean, like, I love the new Linkin Park because there's definitely a softer edge to it and there's a lot less screamo, and what it was there to accentuate it. So I absolutely love the latest thing. But I know I did not like the early Linkin Park because it was like shit, brilliant. For my musical tastes, there was some elements of this album that were great, but overall, it was okay. It was kind of somewhere in the middle for me. It's not an album that I'd want to keep on repeating, but a bit like Lauren, I would pick out a few tracks here and there because like there was quality. So there's quality there, but not for my musical tastes. Shall we say from that perspective anyway. So, will it do enough? Will it do enough to get into a Hall of Fame? Will it be dining in the golden halls of the musical people and journeys? Or would it even get legendary status? Let's find out, shall we then? Pete, what did you give it out of 5?
I gave it a 4.5.
4.5. Ooh, solid start. Lauren.
Exactly the same. I gave it a 4.5.
Yeah, solid start. Simon.
I gave it a 4.0.
Pretty good. And Trish gives this a 5. So the only one that's not here. What a surprise. Trish very rarely gives a 5.
Sorry, I like that.
Absolutely not true.
Yeah,
I'm not
we know.
being wrong.
It's called
No, that's not true.
British sarcasm there, Peter. British sarcasm.
Okay. Well, next time, make that more clear, please.
And finally, William.
I was feeling very generous, and I was giving it a massive 4.5.
4.5! Shock of shocks. I did not follow suit with my mediocre 2.5, but, of course, there can only be 5 votes. And goodbye to my 2.5. So therefore, it scores a whopping 4.5. Which is absolutely fantastic. So congratulations. Not only is it into our Hall of Fame, it is into the guys dining in the Golden Halls. This is into our top 50 albums of all time. It's actually our joint 18th album of all time, which is pretty damn impressive, and 4th for the year. So currently in the run-in to get into our album of the year. Currently. But we're not even halfway through the year, so that can all kind of change. But cracking score! Congratulations to Vamp and Magnolia Park. Or should we say Linkin Park 2.0? According to you lot. Your words, not mine. Anyway, congratulations to those guys, and welcome to the MPJ Hall of Fame. Thank you very much. Well done. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Why not hit the like and subscribe button and leave a comment? Let us know what you think about Magnolia Park and Vamp. Thank you very much to my wonderful panel, to Pete, to Simon, to Lauren, and to William. Tune in for this is episode 9. We'll be back in a moment with episode 10. Goodbye for now. Ciao. Bye-bye. Keep on rocking.
Bye.